Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we do here is fire. You guys know the drill. So let's get right to the YouTube show I have for you guys today here on the Fire Sports Pod. I know I'm coming to you guys late today, but can't do anything when you got shit to do, especially when you got work, stuff like that. You guys should check out the audio show. I did that before I went to work today. You guys should definitely check that out on the Apple Podcasts and Spotify at the Fire Sports Pod. We had a good show for you guys today. Went over some sports stories that happened throughout the week and some incidents that happened on Wednesday with the Kansas City Chiefs parade. Today we're going into a little bit of a different vibe here. We're gonna be talking about what were the reasons for the Rangers getting back on track. Because in the beginning of the season they were one of the best teams, um, and then like before the All-Star break, they were a little inconsistent, really inconsistent. Mid break of the All-Star break, so between the middle of the start of the season and the All-Star break, we were kind of like on a down slope. But lately, man, after the All-Star break, we have not lost, and we are beating teams. Some are good, some are bad, but when we are playing bad teams, we are absolutely embarrassing them. It's not even close. Well, the Blackhawks were the little consideration because we only won 4-3 against them. But other than that, we have uh, pretty handsomely won almost every single game that we played by a pretty good margin. I think the Rangers, for that factor, they are playing more consistent. They are sharing the puck. They're moving the puck a lot better than they have in the past. And I think they're now realizing that when they use their whole team and their whole roster, good things are going to happen. And they just need to keep doing that. And if they can keep doing that, they'll my Rangers will go far. And they will have a shot to win the Stanley Cup this year. They just have to keep doing all these things consistently. And if they do these things consistently, they will be much better. They will get increasingly better than they already are now, and to the point where we will become a force to be reckoned with. We are already one of the forces to be reckoned with, especially with this guy as our goalie, Shesterkin. But he was a little off before the All-Star break. He really couldn't find a groove, and lately now he's finally found a groove. He's kind of shooken off the bull crap, and he's actually looking like one of the best goalies, if not the best goalies, in the hockey world right now. So he's playing the way he should be, and he's keeping it consistent. And if he stays well, team stays well. Why? You say? Because, well, he's our anchor. If he don't play well, we're just going to get shit on. If he plays well, we're going to be really good, and we're going to be moving the puck. We're not going to be forcing a lot of stuff, so it's a good thing to have him. But instead of now, we're going to be moving on to our second segment here on the Fire Sports Pod, where we're going to be going over just what are the things next year coming up now this year in April, the beginning of the MLB season. What can the Yankees do to really change the narrative from last year to this upcoming year? Now with Juan Soto and a bunch of other guys that are on our roster. Um, and what will be the difference between this year and last year's team? For me, it's not just because of Juan Soto. I think the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees have increasingly got better, other than the Juan Soto trade. What other trade was out there that was great that we made? Really not. Nothing. We haven't made a big splash since the Juan Soto trade. So I'm kind of feeling for my Yankees right now. I don't know what to think about. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. because man, they are really, really, really showing it. And I don't know what's the problem with them. They don't seem as dominant as they used to be in the years prior. Um, Even though they have Judge playing well, they have all these guys playing well. It's not doing them any good, because no matter what they could have Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Juan Soto now, Stan playing well. But if the pitching is not good and up to par, and you don't have Garrett Cole starting as your pitcher every night, which you can't because his body would never do it, and to be quite frank, you wouldn't want to do that. Who else are you going to go to? Who has been reliable consistently over the last couple of years? Nestor Cortez, okay, but he was injured last year, most of last year. So who else? There's really nobody. Luis Severino, gone. Rodon was every game last year seemed like he was injured. Could really not get on the groove. Schmidt was really good last year. But other than Schmidt, Garrett Cole, Schmidt, there was nobody else. There was nobody else. Nobody. It was that bad. There was nobody else left on the roster that could help out Garrett Cole. And to me, that's just embarrassing. I don't want to see that any longer. So I'm hoping that things will change. But at the same time, the way our roster has been constructed and the way the Yankees usually play in these type of moments is not the best case scenario for them. So I'm hoping that we can change the narrative and maybe get a little bit better and try to put this last year's season behind us. We almost had a losing season for the first time in, I don't know, forever. So that was very scary to see that my Yankees went down so bad that they almost had a losing record to end the season. I mean, we were one of the worst teams in baseball. If you look at it in that type of facet, we were one of the worst teams in baseball, and I'm not sugarcoating. We were, without a doubt. The Yankees were one of the worst teams in baseball, hitting wise, pitching wise. There was really nothing last year that was going for us, other than my man Garrett Cole. And yeah, I say my man Garrett Cole, but really, up until last year, he was really inconsistent as well. He was great and times needed. When times were needed, he was great. When times needed, he really wasn't. He always gave up the long ball. In the beginning of his starts, he always did something. Last year, he rarely did that, and look what happened. He pitched his best season of his career, but the Yankees squandered his great season by not showing up when it matters most in games. So that's all to blame on the New York Yankees and the rest of the roster. Granted, Judge was hurt for over 50 games. Rizzo, Stan, they could not stay healthy at all. So, barring those factors in there, I completely understand. But at the same time, enough is enough. And sometimes you just gotta keep plugging away. And the fact that you stop and think that it's over and whatever, it felt like we gave up last year. It felt like we had no pride. It felt like we weren't playing for anything. I think this year we'll come out and we'll play for something. I don't think we're not going to make the playoffs. I think we will. But I don't think we're winning a World Series this year. I think there's too many good teams out there. And I just think that we're not suited to go against them and be able to beat them in the series. So that's just my opinion, because that's what I observed from the Yankees this year and last year, and what they've gotten this year really is not impressive, other than the Juan Soto trade. We had a chance to get Blake Snell, didn't do it yet, didn't do it at all. Um, and he's a proven player. So unless they know something I don't understand why you wouldn't go for you wouldn't go for him, Blake Snell. But maybe they were skeptical on his flaws. But every player has flaws. Garrett Cole has flaws. Toto has flaws. Judge has flaws. Stanton has flaws. Rizzo has flaws. LeMahieu has flaws. Everyone has flaws. Just letting you know. I just I don't get it. I just don't think the Yankees are going to do as good as people think they are with the Juan Soto. I think Juan Soto's gone after this year. I don't think we get the job done with him, and he's looking for another ball club. But other than that, we are going to be moving on to our third segment, and that's going to be talking a little bit about the Lakers. As you guys can see, it's a little bit of a pattern going over all my favorite teams, but going over my Lakers and see what I think that the Lakers need to do to really change their fortune after the All-Star break, because we went on a little bit of a run before the All-Star break. I think we won the last four straight before the All-Star break, which is this weekend. So we've been playing really good basketball. Momentum is high. We've been going really well, going strong out of the gate. LeBron's playing well. AD's playing fantastic. You have Austin Reeves playing well. Yeah, a lot of these guys playing well. The Lakers finished the halfway mark of the NBA season at a 30-26 record. That is not bad for at the All-Star break. So we'll see what happens at the end of the season and what the Lakers are in, what position they will be in. I vote that the Lakers will be a little bit higher than the seventh seed, or the ninth seed, I should say. I think the Lakers are suited probably maybe in the sixth, between the fifth and the sixth seats. Um, I just think that the Lakers, they have a shot, especially when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Whenever you have that duo, you have a shot to win anything. But they really got to tone in and really focus on the fundamentals and really get going at it. Because if they don't, their window of an opportunity is going to pass up. And if they do let that pass up, they are going to be very sorry, because they have a shot of losing LeBron in the offseason this year. And if they do, they're probably basically going back to square one, because Anthony Davis, yeah, this year he's great. And this year he's reliable, but over the years of his career, he really wasn't that reliable. So we'll see. The time will tell with Anthony Davis and LeBron James and the Lakers. Time will tell. They're old, so we'll see how their bodies end up at the end of the season. Well, other than that, guys, let's move on to the final segment I have for you guys today on the Fire Sports Pod, which will be us going over the Rangers. Oh, my bad. We went over the Rangers first. I think going over the Cowboys. Now, you guys know my Dallas Cowboys got absolutely killed in the wild card weekend on Sunday night Sunday afternoon against the Green Bay Packers in Big D. The Dallas Cowboys just absolutely got shell shocked. Micah Parsons in the celebrity game wins MVP. First trophy that the Cowboys player has won in February, actually. He had a monster game, 37 points, 17 of 31, 16 boards, and 4 steals, getting the MVP of the celebrity basketball game today. So congrats to Michael Parsons, but I'm sure he wants that other type of trophy, which is that Super Bowl, which is craving for. But yeah, so the Cowboys, man, what they need to do is they first have to fire Mike McCarthy, but they can't because they already resigned him. We got Mike Zimmer as the defensive coordinator. I like that move. I would have liked to see if Dan Quinn would have stuck it out one more year. But bringing in a veteran coach, an actual veteran head coach, which just like Dan Quinn, from a defense that was top five in the league for a number of years with the Minnesota Vikings. I think is great, and I think will really help Micah Parsons unlock his potential, and he already has his potential, but unlock it even more in the grand scheme of things. But I do think that the Cowboys can make a run next year. I'm not this delusional Cowboys fan. I think we have the defense still for it. Now we have the coordinator again, which you know is going to blitz and is going to be aggressive and is not going to change his whole scheme just because analytics say he has to, or he thinks that he shouldn't. He thinks that Jordan Love, or a quarterback that's young, shouldn't be taken seriously. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like we didn't want to take him seriously. So we just let him sit back and we went zone and he picked us apart and we made no adjustment in the second half. And that was just embarrassing because that was even worse for me. Because it was a I just don't I am a loss of words at how bad the Cowboys ended their season. Without Dan Quinn now, we have the Mike Zimmer and Mike McCarthy show. So we'll see how that duo works. Of course, there was Bill Belichick on the board, Ron Rivera, and Mike Vrabel. But we stuck with Mike McCarthy and we went with Mike Zimmer for both the offensive coordinator slash head coach Mike McCarthy, or I should say head coach slash offensive coordinator Mike McCarthy, and defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer, who covered a top five defense in his time with the Minnesota Vikings. So he knows his fair share of things. He can get the job done when it's needed the most. Uh, and you know that he's not going to back down. He's going to put it all out there for his team. He's going to try to help them win with any inconvenience necessary. Not saying Dan Quinn didn't. He did a great job as the DC for the Cowboys. But I just think for you to change your whole defense, the scheme, and you ran it the way you ran it the whole year, and to change it again just because you got a different quarterback, you got a young quarterback, you wanted to kind of prove a point, that was just stupid. Because once he got in a rhythm, that was pretty much it. And then Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott, everyone's going to slander him. Oh, it was his fault, his fault, his fault. Not really, man. When your defense gives you 41 points in a game, what the hell do you want the offense to do more of? I mean, yes, of course, score the ball. Maybe the defense would have showed up earlier if you would have scored the ball and that guy stopped so many times. But if you just looked at it, it wasn't really about stopping him. It was literally about covering them correctly. They had a numerous wide open wide receivers where it baffled my mind on how open it was. I even said my brother could be sitting there and could have caught that and wouldn't have gotten hit. That's how easy it was for those wide receivers to catch. Oh, I have a ball? Here, let me catch that perfectly wide open. And no one's going to tackle me. Dude, there was like no one around him for like 20 yards, front, back, side to side. That's how embarrassing it was. And I just, the Cowboys need to be more consistent. They need to play team football. They need to get after the quarterback. They need to create turnovers, but they cannot rely on turnovers in order to get a spark either on offense or defense. They have to be able to just create that off the jump without being, oh my God, we need a turnover to get everything going. No, we don't. We need to play sound football. We need to play consistent football. And if we can get that done, we can beat whoever. but we have to get that done first. But yeah, so other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for my YouTube show here on the Fire Sports Pod. I will catch you guys today, basically, because it's already 12:16, as we'll do a YouTube live going into the All-Star game, All-Star weekend today, going into dunk contest, the 3-point contest with Sabrina Ionescu and Steph Curry, the West and against the East. All-Star game, which I believe is Sunday. So we'll do some of the dunk contest coverage. We'll do the 3-point contest, and I believe the skills challenges is tomorrow as well. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for my YouTube show here on the Fire Sports Pod. I will be posting this very shortly with some clips as well following that. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your morning, Saturday morning, and I'll catch you guys later today. Peace out.